Alright guys, so in this video, we're going to change the differential bushing. I'm going to back up the car a few times, just a tiny bit, so you can hear how bad it is. Yeah, it's pretty fucking clunky. Like every gear change, I pretty much hear it. All I'm going to do is release the clutch until it engages, and I'm going to let go and you're going to hear the clunk. So this video just changed so much after I found out that my subframe is actually broken. So I think this is the actual bushing itself, and the chunk that holds the subframe together just snapped clean off. Literally resting on the sway bar. The sway bar is holding up the differential. Alright, so I slightly jacked it up, just barely off of the subframe. Go ahead and jack it up. Keep going, and one more time. It's up. That's exactly where it's supposed to sit. So now you can see where it broke is right there and right there. So it's finally warm out. I've been driving with this pretty much ready to fail on me any second now for 2 weeks since that last video was recorded. A little damage there and a little damage here, but that's nothing to worry about. Only thing I'm worried about is getting this entire subframe out. So I'll show you the other one. All right, so here it is. So I've had these bushings in for about a year now, and this subframe's just been sitting. I was gonna do this a while ago, the whole subframe, but just ended up not doing it. And I have a video on my channel about a year ago. I'll probably put the link in the description, where these bushings were failing on my car right now. And now that the diff is failing, I have no choice. So I just put the diff bushings in, and then now it's time to just slap it in. Now it's equally as rusty, to be honest, so I don't know how long it's gonna last, but at least it's gonna solve my issue for now. I think the actual issue on why this broke is just because this bushing right here has been needed to be replaced about 5 years ago probably. Bought the transmission, the guy gave me both halves of the prop shaft because this prop shaft failed from all the weight of the differential creating an angle noise. You can kind of see right there, but it looks like it's cracked right there. Yeah, you can see it a little better like that. Well, I didn't film the process, but here it is. Old subframe out. Differentials right here. Still has that stupid bushing on it. I'm gonna drain the fluid, and I have new gear oil to put in it, and I should also do my transmission since I have the car on all 4 jack stands anyway. Time to check for subframe damage. If there's any cracks, I'm scared to look. I'd rather not. But now we can take a look at the shaft. You can see there's like shit out, and here's the new one. I mean, well, not new, but the ZF. I mean, there's nothing really different other than this one that I'm putting in is actually balanced to the front prop shaft that I have in. This one was not, so I don't know if that caused any issues. I didn't even notice. Maybe I just lined it up good, but now I can actually balance it properly. And we're gonna have all the solid mounts in instead of this shit. Well, a lot of it didn't actually make it in. And I realized the drain hole's on this side, so. But look, differential, and it's not welded. That's good. That's good. You can see the spiders rolling around in there. And just like that, fresh fluid. So people online were saying between 1 quart, and some people were even saying up to 1.5. So I put about a bottle and a half. I don't know if that's going to cause problems having too much, if there is too much. but it looks nice. And it came off with no gasket. This diff did not leak. It was bone dry, had all the fluid in it, and the fluid looked good. So I'm assuming that putting it right back with no fluid should be perfectly fine, or no gasket should be perfectly fine. I didn't film too much of the actual process because I don't want this to turn too. So yesterday I got as far as taking the actual subframe out, and last night it was getting pretty cold, but I put the subframe in, I put the drive shaft in, I put the differential in. That was a pain. It took a long time because of how heavy it was and lining up all the bolts and everything while holding it up. I eventually used the jack. I don't know why I didn't use that in the beginning. But then put the axle in. I had to take it out about 3 times because of putting in these control arms here. I should have done these first. So this is the spring bucket and that's the camber arm. So I should have done these first before putting the differential in, because now it's a pain in the ass and you have to snake the bolt around the axle and then through this hole right here. So that's what I have to do right now. I loosened the differential so it's loose but still bolted in enough that I can push it to the side, but I do have to take the axle out again. That I mean, I probably don't have to. I could probably do it, but I want to remove it so I have a little bit more room to get my hand in here because it's pretty bulky. Yeah, I would have filmed more if this wasn't going to turn into a 2-day project, because I really didn't want it to turn into a 4 or 5 day project just because I have to film everything. And movie magic, everything is in and in place except the exhaust. So I did the usual, as you can see, not the usual, but what you're supposed to do is jack up the wheel to the ride height. So I jacked it up until the letters Advan were just about covered. That's about where my car sits. And then that's when I tightened down the camber arm right here, the control arm on both sides. Oh no, actually I forgot, I gotta do this one. Good thing I remembered. So I gotta do this one, and then we gotta start the car, probably with the exhaust off, put it in gear, let the wheels spin. The reason I gotta do that is I gotta get the transmission hot. So when the transmission gets a little warm, so maybe run it for about 10 minutes, then I'm gonna check the fluid in it, because apparently when I was adding the fluid before, I was doing it while the oil was cold. So the gear oil has to be up to temperature in order for it to thin out properly, and you add the proper amount, and that's why my transmission's been whining. It gets dark so quick in the winter. There was only about maybe an hour difference. It's about 6 o'clock. Let the car get hot. Exhaust is on, everything's done. All I gotta do is put it on the ground and drive. Well, that video ended about 3 weeks ago and I didn't finish it. So the reason I didn't finish is because I wanted to drive the car a little bit and verify that everything was working properly, and everything is. I mean, I took some camber out, and now we are very, very close, at least on this side, very close to rubbing. But on this side, unfortunately, it can't be aligned properly because I need toe plates for the rear. And in order to line up the camber properly, I'm probably gonna have to get adjustable camber arms, because now I got one wheel, instead of being straight, it's slightly towed in, and then this wheel is almost perfectly straight. But this one has good camber and this one has negative camber, because when you add positive camber, it makes it go in more. So I had to do the camber and all that. We tried to adjust it, didn't get it right. And then also, these are the brake shoes, so handbrake doesn't work anymore. In fact, when you pull it, it's like nothing, because there's nothing in there. So I put a piece of wood at the end of my driveway and I just back over it, and this stopping my car. I still leave it in gear. I just don't want to just put it in gear, because every time you push the clutch, the car will bounce forward and stuff. Puts a lot of stress on the transmission. But yeah, everything's working perfectly. Haven't had any issues. It's also been extremely cold. The other day it was 12 degrees outside at night when I was leaving work. Do not feel like working in those conditions, and filming like that, I mean, videos just don't come out good. I mean, this video is filmed pretty random. I didn't really have like a filmer or anything to help me make it come out good. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Leave more likes and stuff to let me know if these type of longer videos are better. I don't know. I don't really like doing short videos. I mean, they're easy to, you know, produce like a bunch of short videos and do them like every day, but I feel like you guys don't enjoy them.